The UK will no longer require Apple to create backdoor access to users' data. Texas's Attorney General will investigate Meta and Character AI over misleading mental health claims. And Substack turned on iOS in-app payment options for all paid newsletters. It's Tuesday, August 19th, and here's a quick look at tech in the news this morning from Engadget. UK officials will no longer compel Apple to create backdoor access to its users' data. That's according to U.S. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. She wrote on X that the administration worked closely with the UK over the past months. As the New York Times noted, the UK government issued the secret order earlier this year after amending the Investigatory Powers Act of 2016. Now, the law gives the UK government the right to compel companies to turn over data to law enforcement and intelligence agencies. Reports about the mandate started to come out in February, however, and Apple pretty much confirmed it when it disabled iCloud's advanced data protection feature in the UK. ADP gives users the power to add optional end-to-end encryption to a variety of iCloud data, which means the information can't be accessed by authorities unless they have the user's device in their hands. Apple said at the time, "As we have said many times before, we have never built a backdoor or master key to any of our products or services, and we never will." A bipartisan group of U.S. lawmakers asked Gabbard to take measures to prevent what they called a foreign cyber attack waged through political means after the information about the mandate went public. Meanwhile, Apple filed a complaint with the Investigatory Powers Tribunal, which investigates complaints about the alleged conduct of public bodies in relation to members of the public, to get the order reversed. The company has yet to issue an official statement about the reversal of the UK mandate. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has announced plans to investigate both Meta AI Studio and Character AI for offering AI chatbots that can claim to be health tools and potentially misusing data collected from underage users. Paxton says that AI chatbots from either platform can present themselves as professional therapeutic tools to the point of lying about their qualifications. That behavior can leave younger users vulnerable to misleading and inaccurate information. Because AI platforms often rely on user prompts as another source of training data, either company could also be violating young users' privacy and misusing their data. This is of particular interest in Texas, where the SCOPE Act places specific limits on what companies can do with data harvested from minors and requires platforms to offer tools so parents can manage the privacy settings of their children's accounts. For now, the Attorney General has submitted civil investigative demands to both Meta and Character AI to see if either company is violating Texas consumer protection laws. Now, as TechCrunch noted, neither Meta nor Character AI claim their AI chatbot platforms should be used as mental health tools. That doesn't prevent there being multiple therapist and psychologist chatbots on Character AI, nor does it stop either of the company's chatbots from claiming they're licensed professionals, as 404 Media reported back in April. A spokesperson for Character AI said, "The user-created characters on our site are fictional. They are intended for entertainment, and we have taken robust steps to make that clear. For example, we have prominent disclaimers in every chat to remind users that a character is not a real person and that everything a character says should be treated as fiction." Meta shared a similar sentiment in its comment, saying, "We clearly label AIs, and to help people better understand their limitations, we include a disclaimer that responses are generated by AI, not people." Meta AIs are also supposed to direct users to seek qualified medical or safety professionals when appropriate. Sending people to real resources is good, but ultimately, disclaimers themselves are easy to ignore, and they don't act as much of an obstacle. With regards to privacy and data usage, both Meta's privacy policy and the Character AI's privacy policy acknowledged that data is collected from users' interactions with AI. Meta collects things like prompts and feedback to improve AI performance. Character AI logs things like identifiers and demographic information and says that information can be used for advertising, among other applications. How either policy applies to children and fits with Texas's Scope Act seems like it will depend on how easy it is to make an account. Substack now lets users subscribe to any paid publication via an in-app purchase from the official iOS app. The news came after the company tested the feature with 30,000 creators. Now, this makes subscribing to something a much speedier affair, with the entire process taking just a few taps on the old smartphone screen. Now, prior to this, it wasn't always possible to upgrade to a paid subscription directly in the app. However, there is a fairly major caveat. It is likely that subscriptions paid for by in-app purchases will be more expensive than usual. That's to accommodate Apple's cut of the revenue. Substack says it automatically sets iOS app prices higher so creators take home approximately the same amount. These creators can dive into the settings to lower the price. Now, there's another way to subscribe to your favorite Substack creators without burning too much time. Apple now allows iOS apps in the U.S. to include external payment links, which stems from a legal ruling following a lawsuit from Epic Games. This isn't quite as speedy as an iOS sub, but the prices are right. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Mariella Moon, Ian Carlos Campbell, and Lawrence Bonk. And it was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer by me, Steve White. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with more tech news from Engadget.